want to talk about Never Trump for a moment as a segue into something else because, people don't realize it, but I actually was the person who popularized the term. I can't say I originated. Actually, here's what happened. Back in 2016, I was actually on a train going from New York to Washington. I was on a book tour. And I'd had enough. I was like, I can't support this guy. Character counts. I'm not a Hillary person. I'll go third party. I won't vote. I don't like any of this. I don't like all sides. And I wrote a piece saying I'm never going to do it. And posted it at redstate.com where I was the editor. And then said, actually, no, I guess I put it on my own site because I had just retired from Red State. And my buddy Aaron texted me and said, use Never Trump. I've seen a couple people say that. So I did, Never Trump. It exploded. And, over time, he got elected. I was wrong about a lot of the stuff I believed. And in 2020, said, you know what, I can support him. And people on the Never Trump side, boy, they got mad at me. People got mad. Now, what's so interesting is that there are a lot of Trump supporters. Anytime I criticize him now, there's like, well, you're Never Trump. I supported the guy through 2 election cycles. But yep, some people just can't let it go. What I have found interesting, though, is that when you are on the right and you decide you can't support Donald Trump, boy, does the media fawn over you. Think about all these people. I saw a story this morning about a group of former Republicans who are helping a bunch of Democrats get elected in 2026 to contain Donald Trump. None of them are Republicans anymore, but they hide behind the Republican label. They're Republicans against Trump, Never Trump Republicans. You can be a dyed-in-the-wool communist, and they will call you a Republican if you once were and you hate Donald Trump. They fought over you. My Meet the Press experience. I was a regular, had a monthly appointment on Meet the Press. And then announced in 2019 I would be supporting Donald Trump in 2020 and never went back on Meet the Press again. It's been very interesting to see. If I really wanted a media career right now, being dogmatically Never Trump for the right, that can make you some money and it gets you all sorts of attention. But I'm in that weird position where I support a lot of what the president does and criticize some of what the president does. And therefore, nobody wants that. God forbid you actually support his policies, but criticize him on occasion and don't support all the policies. Nope, you see, it's got to be all the one or all the other. But the moment you go from being a Trump supporter to I disagree with him and I part ways with him, the media lavishes all sorts of praise on you, don't they, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's now been on CNN and The View and has a sit-down interview with Lesley Stahl on 60 Minutes.
He did talk about the Epstein files, and he was extremely angry at me that I had signed the discharge petition to release the files. I fully believe that those women deserve everything they're asking. They're asking for all of it to come out. They deserve it. And he was furious with me.
What did he say?
He said that it was going to hurt people. I had asked him, these women are the ones that were hurt. They were raped at 14. They were raped at 16. I watched them stand in front of the press trembling, their bodies shaking as they were telling their stories, many of them for the first time. And I had told him, I said, you have all kinds of people come in the White House. Have these women come in the White House. These women deserve to be heard.
He said to you, people will get hurt.
People will get hurt. I don't know what that means. I don't know who they are.
She's claiming this, but she knows damn well who they are. There are a lot of innocent people who are named in the grand jury transcripts of people who came into contact with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, I know this. She knows this. She's not a dumb person. The reason that, for example, what Clay Higgins from Louisiana voted against the legislation was exactly that there will be names that come out and they will be forever vilified and tied to Jeffrey Epstein who are innocent people. Their lives will be ruined because their names will come out. Now, you can disagree and say, nah, people will be able to nuance it, but really? Nobody nuances anything. That was the president's concern. How do I know? Because he said as much. It's not about the perpetrators and the bad guys. It's about the innocent people. And the legislation that Marjorie Taylor Greene advanced made no distinction between the innocent people who were mentioned or not. Mike Johnson asked the Senate to amend it to be able to allow the redaction of innocent names, and they didn't do it. That's what he was talking about. And then she says this.
You know, he did come after you pretty hard. He called you a lunatic, I'm quoting. He said all she does is complain, complain, complain in caps, and then he called you a traitor. So he hit you, whacked you.
Yes, he did this in the same time span where President Trump brought in the al-Qaeda leader that was wanted by the U.S. government, who is now the president of Syria. Then within a week, he brought in the Crown Prince, MBS, who murdered an American journalist. And then he brought in the newly elected Democrat Socialist mayor of New York. That was the time span that he called me a traitor.
You decided not to stay and fight.
Now, I want to pause on this. Let's go through the list. She says Donald Trump called her a traitor, and at the same time, he brought in the al-Qaeda leader in Syria. Now, that would actually be the president of Syria, who we now know for years in al-Qaeda was actually a mole for the Central Intelligence Agency in the United States government. You need to, have you heard this? Clearly, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been so busy doing her press interviews, she hasn't heard this. It's now been confirmed by multiple press outlets and others that the leader of Syria, who had been a leader of al-Qaeda, was a mole for the United States Intelligence Agency, allowing the United States to kill the bad guys. Did you know that? Because Marjorie Taylor Greene clearly didn't. She says the president's a traitor for having met with that guy. But wait, then she says he also met with MBS, she can't say Mohammed bin Salman, who she says was, who murdered an American citizen. Now, she's talking, of course, about Jamal Khashoggi, who was a member of the Muslim Brotherhood. And actually, there are credible allegations about him being an advocate of the Muslim Brotherhood. And also, you should know that he was born in Turkey and was a Saudi Muslim. And he lived in the United States. I don't know that he was an American citizen. Two of his kids, of his four kids, are an American citizen. But is that America first? This Turkish Muslim Brotherhood guy? She's just conveniently trying to stick it to President Trump for meeting with the leader of Saudi Arabia, a key ally where we have American bases, and then Mamdani. She wants to imply that the president of the United States is a traitor because he met with the duly lawfully elected mayor-elect of New York City. So follow along with me here in the insane logic of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Meeting with an ally of the United States is bad because that guy had killed a member of the Muslim Brotherhood. But meeting with the elected mayor of New York City, who's an American citizen, is bad in Marjorie Taylor Greene's view. She's not consistent. She has the consistency of an insane asylum. She, by the way, also broke news and said she's not running for further office. She's not interested in being in the Senate. She don't want to be governor. She's not running. She's going to be a podcaster. Let's be clear here. Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to be a podcaster. She might do a TV show with Matt Gaetz. We can call it Pedos in Palestine, and they focus on those sorts of issues. It's amazing that now that she's turned on Donald Trump, the media gives her these sympathetic profiles. Poor Marjorie. Poor Marjorie. Marjorie complained about the death threats her family has gotten, the death threats that Marjorie Taylor Greene has gotten. The president said mean things, and people threatened the lives of her and her family. Marjorie Taylor Greene herself fostered that environment and allowed it to fester and took advantage of it, harnessed it, and defended it until it happened to her. And that's part of the problem with Marjorie Taylor Greene is she lacks empathy for other people. If it happens to her, she's a victim. She's a poor Marjorie. It's always she's a victim. Poor Marjorie. People don't like her because she's a woman. Poor Marjorie. The system is broken and doesn't work. You know, here's the God's honest truth. You talk to Republicans and Democrats alike on Capitol Hill. Marjorie Taylor Greene went to Washington, D.C. and burned every bridge the moment she got there. She couldn't get anything done because Marjorie alienated everyone around her, and now she's lighting the bridge on fire that connected her to the president. She wrecked her marriage. She wrecked her relationships on Capitol Hill. She wrecked her relationship with the president of the United States, and she's decided it's everyone else. It's not her. Marjorie Taylor Greene decided you're the problem, not her. The president's the problem, not her. The Congress is the problem, not her. Everyone else is the problem, not her. Now, how much of a narcissist is she? This is, and then the obsessive desire to now do these fawning, sympathetic portrayals on TV. I've had enough of these people who perform like this. She goes out there, destroys every relationship she's got, and suddenly the common denominator is not her, but everybody else? No. She's just a convenient cudgel now for the media to use to attack the president. She can accuse the president of being a traitor for being president of the United States. The problem is Marjorie has lived in a very protective bubble, and the world is far more complicated than Marjorie Taylor Greene would like it to be. She would prefer for the United States of America to pack up and leave the rest of the world and come home and do nothing with the rest of the world, and the rest of the world doesn't work that way. The world does not work that way. And Marjorie Taylor Greene has decided that the problem is the world, not her. Marjorie Taylor Greene has decided she is the victim. She's always the victim. She's great at playing the perpetual victim. And she'll be a great podcaster, seeding the conspiracy theories that rot people's brains online. And she'll get lots of fortune, I suppose, from her podcast. And hopefully we'll never have to deal with her on the public stage as an elected official again. To become the person she used to criticize. She used to criticize the people who would go on CNN and The View and 60 Minutes and have them fawn over her. And now she's become that person. And her conclusion is, again, that it is them. It's never her. It's never her fault. She's never held accountable because it's always someone else's fault. So she'll go attack the president and attack the Republicans and attack the dysfunction in Congress and just forget about how she burned every relationship, burned every bridge, alienated so many people. She couldn't get anything done for her own constituents who had to go to other members of Congress to get help with issues because she was so bad at constituent service, and then to light it all on fire and say, I quit. She's a quitter. She's walking away. And when someone pointed out, just stay there and finish your term, she's like, how dare you tell me to go get in the kitchen? We're not telling you to get in a kitchen, Marjorie. We're telling you to do the job you signed up for, said you were committed to, and now you say, it's so broken, I can't get anything done. Yeah, Marjorie, because you're broken, and you broke the relationships, and no one wants to work with you. This is about you, not anybody else, and to go on television and the media and whine about how mean the president was to you when you profited from the relationship for so long, you benefited. I got no sympathy for you.